Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is CeeChronicles and I post fragrance related content on this platform. Kindly consider subscribing and joining this family. And if you're returning, thank you so much guys for coming back. I have an all-in-one Armaf video for you. We're going to start with this one, Perle, right? I had a sniff of this fragrance last year. And it was one of those that even as I sniffed it, I knew I wanted to add it to my collection. So this is going to be a box in a box. I just threw on the floor the sleeve. Okay, so it's got that sleeve, but the actual box is this one. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to mine, it does seem as though, I don't know whether it's shipping, but I was thinking they probably packed it like that. Let me know, guys, if you have this fragrance, whether yours has got this crack. It's got this massive crack. The crack is not affecting the actual bottle. It's not leaking because it's a bottle in a bottle, but you know, I hate things like that. So anyway, this is the bottle. The box is sturdy. It's kind of like a felted texture, like a leathery thingy on it. Very nice. Okay, from the house of Armaf. I did pre-spray this, so I do have the dry down on this paper, and it is certainly a white floral. This has dried down to a creamy white floral. It's silky, it's milky, it's gorgeous. I'm going to read the notes for you because this is one of those that actually come with the notes. Oh, and it's got a magnetic top, okay? This is one that I tested against Valaya because there were people online saying it's close to Valaya. It does have remnants of Valaya in the shampooy, even soapy, powdery accord, but I think that's where it starts and ends, in that aldehydic feel. But this takes a turn where it becomes so opulent in the white florals, having something that even feels like magnolia, but they didn't list which white florals. So the notes are on this pamphlet, and it lists at the top mandarin. Yes, I can detect sweet citrus, but it does not become about a citrus. So in as much as it says that mandarin and bergamot at the top, do not purchase this expecting it to be a citrusy for what's in this. Has a burst of citrus, almost like as a hook line, to get you to look forward to what else this fragrance can do, but then it enters into that floral. And then it also lists the note of sage at the top there, so you are to expect again an aromatic feel, but just slightly. And then it says white floral. The whole creation is built around those white florals. You can throw florals there, like even tuberose. I can even throw jasmine amidst the florals, you know, magnolia. It's got a waxiness to it. Very nice. Okay, very nice, rich floral, and in fact, it's pulling me towards more of magnolia, gardenia perhaps, and tuberose, but they didn't list those. Okay, then it goes on to say orange blossom. This does not have the orange blossom the way I do not like it, where it can come across as like detergenty. That's not what the orange blossom is doing here, but yes, you're gonna get wafts of it. Orange blossom, the flower in itself, and then it says lily of the valley. Oh my god, they were generous with the notes. And then tonka bean, vanilla patchouli, ambrox, musk, and sandalwood. The sandalwood is probably contributing to the creaminess as well, so it's going to be a creamy, milky sandalwood than a woody sandalwood, because that's the wood that they have put there. I wouldn't call this a woody scent. This is ultra feminine, sexy, white florals, rich, creamy, luxe, that sort of thing. So yeah, there has been comparisons to Valaya, but I wouldn't say skip on this because it's been compared to Valaya. It's doing way more than Valaya. Some have compared it to Valaya Exclusive, which I did play around with both fragrances, guys. This is my original Valaya. I've got the Valaya Exclusive as well. Exclusive is the one I actually prefer more than this one, because the Exclusive has got this nice incensey, musky thingy about it that makes it even more richer and beautiful. And I wouldn't say this fragrance is a representation of both. So yeah, guys, it's certainly one of the ones I like from the house of Armaf. This is their creation for 2025/2026. I love it, and I wouldn't say do not buy it if you do not like Valaya, because that's not what it's doing. It's very creamy, as like something that would have a creamy coconut, you know, not Blanche British. It doesn't cross to that. It doesn't get buttery, but it is certainly on the creamy side. So this is the very first one, guys, Armaf, and this is Perle. The second Armaf, guys, is going to be of a vial, and this is Club the Nuit Lion Heart Women. Okay, okay, if you can see that, right? This is of a vial of hygieine. I did spray the Lion Heart on this paper. It started reminding me of Burberry Goddess, so I did take out my vial of Burberry Goddess to see whether that is where Armaf, you know, created the idea from. And yes, it does feel like it's cut from the same cloth, but this one seems to be ginger forward, and I'm not sure whether I actually like what the ginger is doing, because the same ginger here, unless there's something wrong with this, okay, it's giving me sort of like a spoiled, nasty, spicy thing, okay, where I usually like ginger fragrances because they sometimes have this fizziness about them, but this is not what the ginger is doing. It's probably a clash between the ginger and the cacao, because there is a clash right there in the mid, but unmistakably so. If you get yourself Armaf Club the Nuit Lion Heart for women, you will, you know, get some semblance to what Burberry Goddess is doing. And when it comes to that Burberry Goddess DNA, guys, I'd still say Athena wins it. And with this vial, let me just show you. I don't know, I did really play around with it a lot to see it's almost finished, because I really wanted to narrow down to recommendation that I would give you. So we got Anham by Latafa for women, and this one is also in the same vein as Burberry Goddess, somewhere along those lines, and this one, which is the Athena. And I'd still say Athena still tops it all. This one is beautiful, it's flawless, but it's soft, representing that Burberry Goddess DNA, but kind of like on the careful side, while this one is a beast. It's sweet, it's got the vanilla in its, you know, generous dose, etc. And then this Lion Heart now comes into the mix to give us the same DNA, but probably feeling very ginger heavy. Yes, the vanilla is there, yes, the cacao is there, but it is pretty ginger heavy. So this is going to be dependent on which house you prefer, really. Otherwise, all three seem to be going for that DNA. Now with Lion Heart, they gave us Lion Heart for men. This is the men's one. I did not play around with this one much, except just to test it, because I don't have some of the comparisons that have been thrown there of what it smells like. I think I did read somewhere where it said it smells a lot like Kingdom for Men. Okay, so if this is what Kingdom for Men smells like by Latafa, then it's a nice fragrance, because it's not heavy on the masculine tone. This is not even giving me barbershop cologne vibes, which is something that I usually detect from some of the masculine fragrances there on the market. It's giving me soft, in as much as it opens up with like a minty, you know, aromatic minty accord together with, again, an aromatic lavender, that sort of thing. It is honeyed up, very similar to Le Mel Elixir by Jean-Paul Gaultier. So this is pretty crowd pleasing in terms of what it's doing to the nose. It's not pushy on the masculine tone. So I personally wouldn't purchase this as, you know, a full bottle in my collection, but I can certainly recommend it if you are not so much into sweet fragrances. You want your fragrances on the aromatic, even waxy side. Another profile that's similar to this that we've been given by another house is also going to be the Afnan 9 p.m. Elixir. I think I did bring it here, you know, for you. So those are just some of the variations I'm throwing here, you know, for your consideration. Now, before I get into the honorable mention, as I said, guys, we did extend the sale for Proud Mary. You can still get it for $99 on our website, www.macedonperfumes.com. And you can still use my code C15 at checkout. You can purchase it right here on YouTube if you prefer to do so. I'm going to have the store link attached. We also have the store on Instagram, but under Macedon Perfumes, and on TikTok, you can again purchase it under Macedon Perfume. The extension of the sale was due to some of you guys saying, we don't want to purchase it for Valentine's Day. We know you said it's a Valentine's promo, but we don't want to purchase it for Valentine's Day. So can you make a plan? So yes, you can still pick up Proud Mary Extrait de Parfum, 120 ml, a fruity floral from me to you. Now, on to the honorable mentions, guys. I did play around a lot with these two fragrances. This Club de Nuit Malika, and it's one of my faves, actually, of the Club de Nuit range. There's been some comparisons of it to this. Now, I'm here to dispel that. I'm sorry, guys, if you were expecting it to be at par with this. I do not get that. This is a lychee semi-sweet scent. Because of that praline note, it's going to be a little bit on the sweet side, this one. And then it's going to have like some effervescent feel about it, a sparkly feel about it of the pink pepper, while in this, it pulls very much so to that violet leaf. That is what you are to expect from this fragrance, guys. A lot of violet leaf and then some lavender there, and a lot of some musk powderiness as well. Both of them are powdery, so perhaps the comparisons emanated from the color, you know, or the bottle, and how the two were probably released almost at the same time. But I think this one came first, and then Palatine came second. This was done by a master perfumer, and I can certainly say after using it for a while, this is probably a standalone, guys. It's not even a fragrance that I'd say, if you love this, buy this, because to me, they're not vibing the same. There's a fruitiness to this, right? Where this one goes very powdery, very violety, very irisy, that sort of thing. Musky, okay? Both are musky, but this one takes it up a notch. And in this, you get that little bit of a lychee. So this, I'm gonna say, is a standalone. Now, next honorable mention, for those who may have missed this, is this one. I've had this one for a long time, guys. This is actually the one that initiated me into the Armaf Club de Nuit journey, right? This smells very similar to Coco Chanel Mademoiselle. A lot of citruses are what you expect in this fragrance. Citruses and white floral, and that's what you get from this. But in Coco Mademoiselle, this particular one, I get a sweetness about it, where the citruses have been deliberately made to feel sweet, especially in that orange. Okay, I'm not sure whether this one has tangerine, but I'm pretty sure it's got a double dose of a sweet citrus, which could be orange, mandarin orange, tangerine, that sort of thing. So this, just looking at the color of the bottle, expect that sweetness. Yes, it dries down, floral, something that this one does, but this one is on the sweet side. Not sticky sweet, but it does define the citruses better than Club de Nuit for women does. Now, next up, guys, is going to be another one that I just wanted to throw here and mention it in passing. Club de Nuit Untold. Guys, if you know, you know, this one draws inspiration off this Nafsit, because, you know, the BR540 DNA is one that I have been speaking about, you know, for the longest time. So it kind of feels really like very repetitive to talk about it. And then Armaf gave us Club de Nuit Imperial. This one, guys, is unmistakably a fragrance that draws inspiration of Delina Exclusive, a powdery take to that original Delina. This has got the lychee. I do get a lychee here as well, vanilla, and then the incense is interpreted almost in a similar style. So if you're looking for an alternative to Delina Exclusive, then you can certainly look at Club de Nuit Imperial from the house of Armaf. And next up, guys, the fragrance that I still haven't opened because I've got the vial somewhere. If you watched the video I did some time ago, I showed you this, and I was going to test them side by side until I found a little vial that I got off Hygiecense. So I'm just going to drop this as an honorable mention without opening it, because I would rather perhaps put it aside and gift it to someone unopened. Okay, so this is Club de Nuit, the Intense Men, right? This one vibes very similar to Creed Aventus. If you're looking for a summer crisp, clean woody scent with a pineapple note, then of course you can look into purchasing Club de Nuit Intense for Men. And then they gave us Club de Nuit Bling. Now this is the one I had a lot of anticipation to smell, and it is one that I really hoped was going to be up there right at the top, you know, because of how they did the promos, how this one was a center stage at Beauty World, the adverts and all that. But it's unfortunately not a favorite of mine, you know, from the Armaf collection, the Club de Nuit collection. This one is comprised of citruses, you know, something green. There's something that they've called velvet woods, etc., etc. But it dries down to an aromatic green, earthy, even medicinal scent that's kind of masculine leaning to me. It is a fragrance that I can totally pull off, but if I find somebody who loves this profile, I wouldn't mind letting it go. I might maybe be hesitant because of the bottle. The bottle is quite nice. It's bigger than the traditional Armaf ones. Let me show you. Okay, it is quite big, but it still translates to that 100 ml. I've seen comparisons of this to Invictus. It's the Invictus Platinum or something for men, right? So yes, it is a masculine scent that's aromatic, spicy, with a tang and a little bit of some sourness. So it's not one that I really do gravitate towards and run towards because I have an occasion that I want to wear it. But yeah, for those who maybe we're wondering, okay, it hasn't changed much from the original review, and this I'm tempted to also say maybe a standalone. You know, with the fragrances from the Middle East, we've gotten accustomed to comparing them with other fragrances, but I truly believe that this is probably a standalone for those who may like, you know, those green, grassy, aromatic, even medicinal scents. Okay, and then they gave us this one, another standalone to my nose. This is Club de Nuit Oud. This is challenging if you're using this for the first time, but once you get accustomed to this, you can pretty much carry it. Challenging in the sense that it does use a note of oud. Okay, there is of course that mixed fruit situation happening there. The peach adds an extra support, you know, to it, but far from being a peachy scent, it dries down to a wrap up of an oud, and this oud can interpret as oily, even inky, but not smoky. It's not a smoky oud, it's just an oily, sort of like dense, concentrated, thick oud, which for some will come across as artificial. There's been some comparisons of this one to Herba Pura Extra Dose. I would not say buy Herba Pura Extra Dose expecting it to be at par with this. However, if you can carry that fragrance, then you will certainly be able to carry this. Just remember that this has got an oud accord that's pretty much doing a little bit too much in this. So that's what I can say, guys, about Club de Nuit Oud. And then last on the lineup is going to be this one, Club de Nuit Intense Women. This will always be a favorite. In fact, I fear I may have finished it. It comes in a block bottle. There's a little bit, you know, in there. This one draws inspiration of that Noir de Noir by Tom Ford, the women's one. If you're looking for something along them lines, you can certainly purchase this. This is a sweet, spicy scent that is also earthy, with a feel of some dry woods. Some are going to perceive like a chocolate accord in this fragrance. Yes, it has a lot of like dense ingredients put together there, so it interprets as very rich to the nose. One of my favorites from the Club de Nuit line, and we have a full review of this, so I'm just going to leave it at it does smell a lot like Tom Ford's Noir de Noir for women. Remember, guys, that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.